We're back. Is that different than
Shelly says, and we're back.
Do we drop the intros entirely because people know who we are? Everybody
No,
knows who we are.
because literally, I think you have to, don't you?
No, I feel like every podcast though does intros.
What if you say, I'm your middle sister, Anne?
I'm Sister Sarah.
I'm an honorary sister, Jamie.
this is not a sister podcast anymore?
This meeting of the Wheel Girls Club is now in session, where anyone can be a wheel girl. I'm Anne.
I'm Shelly.
I'm Sarah.
I'm Jamie.
And I'm Grace. And let's talk about Carlos Sainz crashing. Just kidding.
I was already devastated. I was
Let's
gutted
talk
for
about
you.
Carlos Sainz in the wet. It's never a good day. It was a good like bookend when Fernando also crashed. And I was like, yes, like father, like son.
Well, and I
Like
mean,
mentor, like mentee.
after seeing so many poor rookies crash, it made me feel. Hopefully, it made them feel a little bit better. Fernando crashed too.
People are saying that Lewis is like letting loose. Do you guys feel like that is happening?
No.
I think going into quali, Lewis is glowing. He's glowing in a way that he's
Yes.
now free of Mercedes.
Mhm.
He's under the prestige of Ferrari, and he's like, it's not all on me. There's Charles. I can just hang out, not be like carrying the burden of a team, basically. But there is a lot of
Okay.
weight. But I think he's glowing and he's loving being at Ferrari. I will say after quali, we're back into the real Ferrari, right? So there was a pre and post glow,
Yeah.
I think.
I
There was a
was gonna
little
say
wake-up call.
Mhm.
when you said glowing, all I could think about was I send this to the whole chat? The memes about the Ferrari merch.
No. Oh.
No.
Don't we can't talk about that here.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Why did they make that merch look like that?
They're always trying to do something, and they're always trying to do something. It's like when
It
they
was
did the
questionable.
distressed red.
I
you
honestly
remember
like the
that?
distressed red just fine. The sandblasted red, that was fine. The
But there's a
white
line.
splatter, the creamy white splatters on the
There's
red
a
Ferrari
line.
merch, that was distasteful.
Mm-mm.
That
That's a
wasn't
no for me.
personally Lewis. That was someone on the Puma team.
That
okay?
was certainly approved
It's not Puma
before.
anymore.
Oh, it's
They're
not.
not. Yeah, I don't remember who they are now. I don't think they're
Oh.
Puma.
They're new.
It's
new
the
guy.
HP merch.
HP's designing their merch, I
HP.
fear.
Let me look it up.
I
Because
s-
Mercedes has Adidas merch now.
Yes.
Williams has
as
Puma.
Puma. I caught
Really?
that. I saw Carlos rocking his personalized Puma 55s with a little Spaniard guy on the side. They're very
So
cool.
cute.
Yeah.
Did we get those? How do I
I
get
was wondering
those?
that myself. I have been
Looking-
homesick today, binging all of the Williams PR videos. So I'm gonna go move on to Ferrari next.
Looking at all the videos of the things like pre-race, I loved seeing like Carlos waving to the Ferrari team, or whenever him and Charles were like in the media pen together and they're like yapping. I miss them a little bit. And coming into this race, Oscar got an announcement for his multi-year contract extension, which was
Yeah.
really exciting.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm ready for them to grow old together, as he said.
Oh.
Okay. Cute. But then my dark vision of this is like last year really let Oscar feel like, okay, I have a chance of winning a world championship at this team. They're treating us both like we're number one. Now that he is locked in on a long-term contract, he's a very good driver.
Mhm.
They can prioritize Lando Norris if they want to.
But we can
Sarah's
get in
face.
the race. We can get into the race.
Mm.
But I am gonna
He's
stand
about to
behind
become.
Oscar.
No, I'm fully standing behind him as well. I just
Yeah.
fear he's about to become.
He's going to be played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And
the
I
second
hope
seat.
he doesn't let them play him, basically, is what I'm gonna say.
Here's
I
what
feel
I'll
like he could
say.
become Nico Rosberg.
No, I don't want him to
Okay,
be
I can
Nico.
see that. Why is that not good? Why do you guys all look mad at that? Nico Rosberg said, I'm gonna win a world championship.
One and
One.
I feel like
then retire.
And ruin my friendship with my best
Yeah,
friend.
I don't want that. I don't
Yeah.
want that.
I saw a comment on the video of Oscar backing out of the grass and getting back on the track,
Oh.
which that was so fun to watch. The crowd reactions were amazing. And the
Mhm.
comment was like, well, when he wins the championship by 2 points, this is gonna be the moment they talk about.
I
And
do like that.
it's true. It's not wrong.
I felt like it was such a testament to like both his abilities as a driver, but also his character of like, no, I'm gonna use a smart, cool head in this situation, but also not give up. And it was awesome.
No, yeah.
This
Yeah.
is my hot take. Like watching, I think it was like those first few runs where he was gaining on Lando and the team
Mhm.
said hold place.
Mm.
I was
Yeah.
trying to tell Oscar, don't
Telepathically.
hold
Yes.
place. Just do it.
Go
Just
for
go
it.
Yeah, just
for
go
it.
for it.
And he did not.
He didn't listen.
And by the end, we saw him not only come out of the grass from his tractor lessons, but then he did that overtake on Lewis that was like crazy.
On Charles. On
Mm.
Charles?
Lewis.
It was Lewis.
Oh, okay.
And I think what a lot of people are saying about his determination, I was just like, he's gonna have to disobey McLaren, I think, if he really is seeing it for this year,
Yeah.
which will
I
be
do think though there's like a
Yep.
fine line to walk with that because like ultimately you are relying heavily on the information you get from your team. And
Mhm.
if they don't give you the information you need clearly, like won't win races either. So you have to
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
defy politely or like within some rules.
Mhm.
And I felt like he could have at that point. They were so trying to figure out the strategy for tires. And in my head, I was just like, if he's behind Lando, they're going to give priority to Lando for the tires. So that in my head, I'm like, he needs to ignore. It's the first race. It's his home race.
Yeah.
There's a lot of components to it, but I think he learned a lesson about how to break some rules sometimes. Yeah. Sorry,
And I
Anne,
do
go
feel
ahead.
like, I mean, he has Mark Webber as a manager. Like, if
Mark
anybody
Webber.
has thoroughly had the experience of being a second driver and being treated as a second driver by the team in a lot of ways, I feel like Mark Webber can give him some advice.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, who liked the stories about him and Carlos flying to Australia together?
Oh, I didn't hear those.
I didn't hear that either.
Repeat it,
That's
Grace.
so cute.
Well, maybe it wasn't Australia, but they were on a flight recently. It was a long flight. Mark Webber was there. That was the one with the inappropriate journalist comment.
Yes.
No,
Oh.
And
because
Oscar
guys-
told them, or Carlos told Oscar that he had a sponsorship with L'Oreal, and Oscar was very
Oh.
happy for him.
I don't know if I heard this one.
Nope.
Super
But
exciting
I believe
story.
you. I believe you. Was it a commercial flight or private?
I think it was
Guarantee it
private.
was private.
Who was it that I just saw a video of that was saying like, oh yeah, we fly commercial?
Alex
and
and
Alex.
George.
That's right. That one
That
surprised
tracks.
me.
I think
With George?
I think
But
George is
they-
probably like very thrifty. He has the thrifty energy about him.
I didn't get that at all.
they said it in the Netflix episode, but they
Oh,
were on a
that's-
private plane, weren't they?
Were they?
Saying it, and I was
know,
like,
I didn't
that's a
catch that.
private plane.
I think they fly like first class, so it's like the big like rooms and stuff,
And no
but
one
it's like
else was there.
commercial.
Well, I did see a funny thing about at the Melbourne airport that there was an announcement for
Was
Alex
that real?
missing
I want
a
to
flight.
know.
I don't
I
think
know.
it was, but I
I
love
wish
that.
it was
hope it
real.
Uh, yeah, so I think going into the race, the formation lap with
Isaac.
Hajar?
Isaac
Yeah.
Oh
Hadjar.
my gosh.
What did you all
Devastating.
think?
Yeah.
I
Devastating.
was annoyed at, okay, first of all, the production so far this season sucks.
Oh yeah, but that I think a lot of times that's actually race dependent, but I agree. It was like
Yes.
the graphics
Mhm.
were very bad the whole time. You couldn't tell where anyone, they just kept being like, this is how many points they would have. And it's like, who cares? Tell me how far apart they are.
There was like no live timings. But also, they kept showing clips of Isaac Hadjar like
Crying.
crying in his
Yes.
helmet, walking down the sidewalk. It was too much. It was too much.
It's
It was
understandable to have
uncomfortable to
respect.
watch.
a
Yeah.
clip, but to keep going back to him. Like,
And,
Even
like,
you could
which
tell the
one clip?
commentators felt bad. Like David
Yes.
Coulthard was like,
Yeah.
Okay,
we're
that's
really
enough.
showing a lot of this poor young
Yeah.
man.
Oh.
It's a really tough sport.
It's his
Like you
debut.
can try your absolute hardest and have a bad day, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
wet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
felt
and I
awful.
mean,
and I mean, Carlos crashed out like
right there with them.
right
Yeah,
at the milestone
During a
exactly.
safety
right there
car.
too.
Yep. Yeah, everyone was slipping
Welcome
and
to
sliding around.
Williams.
Yeah.
Well, Williams, I mean, that was a
They
great
showed
race
up
for
and showed
Alex.
out.
Fifth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was really cool to see. I
I
liked
did.
Alex. Oh, go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was gonna say I liked Alex's interview afterwards. Did you guys see that? Where he was like, he was like, he was like, this was kind of a crazy way to start. Like, I didn't even feel like I really had to work. Like, I didn't grind through like part of the season and then get up to the top. Like, here we are. He's like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate this like win for us, but it was just really funny. I just like how
That's
real
very
he
cute.
is. Anyways.
It seems like the whole team is very like well suited to each other right now. They're very like, let's do a lot of feedback and we're gonna be really into responding to that feedback,
Mhm.
which seems like a good spot
And do you
to
think
be.
Carlos would want to come to my dinner party?
Obviously.
Well, and I like that.
Okay, wait. You just watched Team Torque, right, James?
I'm like 5 minutes away from being finished, but yes.
Okay. I didn't finish it, honestly, but I loved it.
Mhm.
It was
Very
good.
fun.
They like 10 minutes in, I was like, these two men are yappers. They're
Nerds.
gonna
They're
yap.
yappers.
Nerds.
They're
Carlos
yapping.
is a yapper. His little intro to Williams, he was like, I could see the team principal, James Vowell, right? He was like trying to cut him, like you could tell the body language was shifting. Like he was trying to like cut Carlos off with his question answers sometimes. It was really funny.
Did you guys all see the video of Carlos and Alex on some boat in Sydney
With the
And they-
snake.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
loved that.
It was so fun.
I don't need to do this. I could wake up tomorrow and I would still be happy.
Yes. Well, and then
Therapy
Carlos,
speak. Therapy speak.
therapy speak. And to bring it back to the race, Carlos like being on the pit wall, like making calls, running across the garret or the paddock area. I was like, this is great. This like I can just see a future of Carlos like working for a team post race car, like once he retires.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hope that he becomes a strategist or something. So, anyways, it was fun seeing him work with the team despite the upset. I like my jaw dropped when he hit the wall. I was like, Grace, I literally thought of you in that
Thank you for
moment.
thinking of me.
My thoughts
I
and
was
prayers were with you.
like really debating, like, do I turn this off and go to bed now? And then I was
That's what
like,
I thought
no.
about Grace. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's done with the race. There's
Yeah,
no more
what's the point of watching?
she's gonna watch.
I thought to myself, I have to see how Williams does. I have to see what the potential is for this team.
As much as I do love Williams this year, I on this podcast will be the one to bring us back to the other teams. Otherwise, this will be a full Williams podcast.
Williams fan.
I know.
Not wrong, Shelley.
I knew you were going to say that. I could sense it coming.
Where are we going
I'm not a
next?
hater. I love them.
She's a hater.
She's a hater.
They were amazing in qualifying. Like at one point, I think they'd seen like 8 different teams like shown in the spots. And I told Sarah, seeing Williams up there, I was like, I'm too afraid to get excited for them. And I'm glad it's like it was halfway seeing, knowing now Carlos has crashed, but Alex's great win. I'm like, okay, this could be something. I don't know. But
I feel like Williams legitimately has potential to be
A midfield team.
possibly
Happening.
possibly get
Well-
like 5th in the championship. I wouldn't be surprised at 6th or 7th.
I
feel like
fear
they
it's
have
still too
real
early to
potential.
tell.
Yeah,
I
you
want
can't
it
tell
for
anything
them.
from a rain race.
I want it for them. Yeah.
Yeah, but quali was dry.
It
I
was
understand that, but if
dry.
you can qualify well, but if your
different.
car can't keep up,
Yeah.
or
What
if it
I'm
blows right through
Just
your
look at
tires.
Ferrari.
Yeah, what
Let's
I'm
talk about
pretty
how
sh-
Stake is ahead of
Oh.
Ferrari in the points right now.
pretty spicy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Which,
Well,
man, I
I
did
want-
feel bad for the Ferrari boys and for Yuki that their teams got that last switch to enter so wrong.
But that's the game, baby.
That's the game.
They
Just
lost
kidding.
Carlos. They gave Carlos their number one strategist away. Are we surprised?
I do want to talk about Hamilton
I know. Can we get
talking with
into it?
his
Yes,
race
can we get into
engineer.
it?
Yeah.
But also the Charles Leclerc, let's add that. What did he
Water.
say? Let's add this to the
Words of
list.
wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
Words of wisdom.
It
What's
must be the water. I thought it was like satire.
I thought he peed himself.
I thought it was sarcastic. Stop.
Is it not like it's a rain race?
I thought the words of wisdom was him being like, I have a burn book about every stupid thing you've ever said to me. Let's add this to that book. That was the energy it was giving
she
me.
always thinks he's a villain.
Write that down so I can put it in your book.
Oh, Charles being spicy on
He's
the
a
radio.
bully. No,
He's
I'm
quick
just
with
kidding.
it.
I don't think Charles is a bully, but I did like watching Hamilton be like, how do I nicely say,
He's
please be
gentle
quiet?
parenting.
Yeah, he was
Gentle
gentle parenting.
I really don't need that much information. Thanks.
Yeah. Did he say at one time, like, I'm a world champ driver? Or am I making that up? No.
No,
okay.
I don't think he
the
said that.
commentators
Yeah.
said that.
Oh, okay.
He
Okay.
said,
Okay.
just leave me to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
that's-
leave me to it.
Leave me to it.
And then,
This is
like-
too much information.
Teaching him the buttons. I told
Yes.
Sarah,
Yeah.
like, beforehand, they had talked about how the Ferrari wheel is very different from what he had at Mercedes, and they had to, like, adapt / to a hybrid wheel for Lewis. Obviously,
'Cause
he's
L-
getting the kinks out of this car learning it,
Mm.
but they were fully like, press this button, remember? And I don't know. It was, yeah, I'm like, they're talking to
Well, 'cause-
Lewis.
Isn't there a whole thing where like he built the steering wheel that the Mercedes uses? That was like his baby.
Mhm.
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah. Well,
I
and
didn't know
also,
that.
I'm sure that he's spent hours and hours and hours in the simulator already getting used
like he knows
to
the
this
wheel.
wheel.
Well, then I was wondering, is the engineer seeing something that could have been more effective to Hamilton's race?
I
Or
felt
he's
like
Just over
the engineer was
mansplaining.
like, I just want to not see anything to Lewis, but like you have Fred saying like, tell Lewis this, and he's like, I don't want to. And then he
is the
has to,
villain.
and then Lewis like snaps back at him, and then the engineer gets mad at Fred.
Poor
like,
Ricky.
Fred made me.
Because isn't his race engineer is who was
Is
Carlos's race
Ricky.
engineer?
Yes,
Yeah, it's Ricky. I
Mm.
kind of like Ricky. I'm gonna be honest. TBH, I was feeling for Ricky in that moment.
Yeah, I was kind of too. I was like,
I will say it was so weird seeing Bono either in a picture or a video with Kimmy.
Mhm.
Like, that just doesn't seem right. Doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. What's going on?
And
Him,
he
he
did
had a
very
great
well.
race.
Yeah, he did
Yeah.
very well.
Did.
He should have won. I've really wanted Oscar or Kimmy to win driver of the day. They both did
Oh, okay.
fabulous.
I
Who
thought you
won?
were
Did
gonna say
Lando
win the
win?
race. I
No,
was
Lando won driver of the day. Who's surprised?
I'm telling you, they are paying people to vote for him.
Boo.
No, he has a strong fan base. Let's not.
Yes,
Yeah, he
his
does. He
fans are
does.
paying people to vote for him.
I am getting people to
It's
vote for
an
him.
Lando is
underground
paying
network.
people to vote for him for driver of the day. He loves it.
It's part of the Quadrant subscription.
I know,
You
I
get
thought
a
Alex had a
free
good race.
quadrant subscription if you vote for for driver of the day.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he had a great drive. He had a
He
great
had
He
a
drive.
did.
great drive. He did
He
a great job.
Yeah.
It's also
What's
a
our
little crazy to think about. Like it was he got pole and he won the race, which just because so much else happened in the race, I felt like my brain didn't realize like, oh, it's still just Lando winning.
He's still up there.
Yeah.
What's the hot take on the Red Bull? Because
Mm.
I am seeing
Does
a
it
lot of
suck?
stuff with people basically being like, no one since Daniel Ricciardo has been competitive with Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Checo's been the closest one.
I fear you are
So-
right.
Okay. 2 seasons in a row.
Resounding
The first
silence.
6 races of the season, Max and Checo were competitive with each other, and Checo won multiple races.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you're
That's
right.
true.
I'm just
And
gonna
he
say,
know
stuck
you're
around.
and he stuck around for 4 years.
Yeah.
I'll also
Yeah.
say I watched the Who's Gonna Replace Checo episode of Drive to Survive with Paul yesterday, and it
Did you
made
cry?
both of us so mad
Haven't
for
watched that one
Yuki's
yet.
sake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Justice for
was,
Yuki.
I know, I was gonna say I was
Justice
really
for
happy to see
Yuki.
him having a good race initially.
I do like the
Yeah.
people who are like, Justice for Yuki is not him going to Red Bull, it's him winning the world championship in the V carb.
I mean, at
Okay.
this point, I'm like, he finished the race ahead of Liam.
I know.
So
Liam was a
that's
mess.
yeah, hot
Is
There
it
mess.
Liam
was-
or is it the car?
It's Liam.
Great question.
I
It's
Okay,
that
I
nobody
will
can
say-
fit in
I
a
think
car.
Liam is showing how difficult the car is.
That's
no,
what
no.
I'm seeing.
This was his first time at Melbourne, so he did not know the track. It was wet. There's that. We will put that aside now and say
He also
Okay.
qualified in the
He's
dry session
slow.
18th.
he's just slow. And
Ooh.
And I'm not in any way saying that he needs to be taken out of that seat right now. I don't
Give him
have
4
hate
more
for Liam.
races.
Give him
I
6
just-
races total and then he's out.
I just
Give
think
him
that
2
this was
races to
a
prove himself.
tough race for him.
But let's hate on Helmet Marco for a minute.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. His comments about poor Isaac Hajar
I know, like I
were
said, I stand by my previous comments. Someone
out
needs to
of
kick that man
line.
in the shins.
I've seen on the internet unhinged comments
allegedly.
like where
Unhinged?
is Luigi?
Hinge.
Like,
Hinge comments?
unhinged.
Oh my God. This is a
Unhinged.
whole new level of social media outreach.
Yeah.
You know, Hinge has like a TikTok short form video feature now.
Does it have
It
that?
does?
No.
Okay.
But you
That'd
know
be
what does
unhinged.
is the F1 app has a
Stop.
short form video scrolling.
Actually,
Yes. Yes. Every
that's
app
unhinged.
that doesn't need that has it now.
Well,
Back
I know what I'll be
to
doing for the next evening.
back to the rookies all crashing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to change my leagues. I need to change my teams. I need to remove some people. I
No, okay,
forgot how
here's-
bad rookies.
Here's
can
the really
make
crazy
things.
thing is that
Mhm.
F1 Fantasy, I have 2 teams, and one is like, these are my boys, and the other
Mhm.
team is rookies. It's the rookie team. Tell me why the rookie team is higher
I know, I saw
than
that.
my
That's
boys.
so
I-
funny.
I got 60
need
some
new
points for
boys.
qualifying. I was in first place.
All
And
right,
then
Anne.
after the race, I had 42 points because I had lost points because of the race.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I feel like
Carlos
this
kinda
race was
screwed
a
me.
crazy exception.
I
Yeah.
had Carlos and Fernando on my team.
I had Carlos and Oscar.
I
And
had Carlos
Oscar.
and Oscar, and I had Williams, and I had V-Carb.
We're in the weeds. We're in the weeds.
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
have
It's
to
early
say,
days. It's
I
early
have to
days.
say, I am low key putting my team together from the shipping that I've seen online. So I've heard
Wait.
in this conversation a lot of people putting Carlos and Oscar together on a team.
Car team.
That's
So
amazing.
I'm saying it's gone to us. That's
I
all
will
I'm going to say.
I was on the phone with my mom when she was making her team because she needed tech support. And
Oscar and
that
Carlos.
is
Car.
sort of her. Well,
Her
no,
team.
Oscar wasn't in there because she doesn't like Oscar.
She
It's
hates
like
But I think she did put
I
Oscar and
like
she said she couldn't afford
Carlos.
Lando.
Mm.
I love Pierre. She's like, get my boys in here.
Get my
My
boys
beautiful
in
boys.
here.
I mean, that's how I'm picking my team. It's like nothing else. I'm like, who do I really like? I'm gonna put them together and have them hang out in this team. That's how it works.
It's like
I
a
was thinking
party.
about that because I was like, I wonder the people who like win the whole league, like
Yeah.
they win F1 fantasy, and I'm like, how are they making teams?
There's
Not
many
like us.
options, right?
Full
No,
disclosure.
like
it's
us.
definitely very different.
I was curious what the autofill would do for me. And I did do
Yeah.
an autofill team. I did change one person, and I'm pretty high up, so
Who
Great.
auto-filled in? Let's hear about this.
okay, so it was my second team. I think it gave me McLaren as my
Oh, that'll.
top team. So somehow it finagled that.
I think that's what
Um,
happened with my rookie team because I had a lot of money left over for constructors,
Yes.
and I think I grabbed McLaren. So I will say, I think that's what's
The constructor really matters.
on.
I think I actually don't understand enough about the rules of the F1 fantasy
It's more fun that way
Yeah.
anyway.
to figure out how to make a winning team. Like I'm like, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know.
Carlos is gonna
Hmm.
hang out with Oscar with a Williams car with Kimmy. They're all gonna be in this car together, going to the mall.
Road
That's
trip.
yes. Purely vibes. That's it. Oh.
Vibes and then whoever I could afford for a constructor.
Yeah, that was
Mhm.
rough. I was like, you can basically just choose like either your top driver, most expensive driver, or your top constructor.
Yeah, I had to
Not
put
much
Red
room.
Bull as one of my constructors because I was like,
I know.
the ones that I wanted, I
Get
couldn't afford
away.
McLaren.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Red
expensive
Bull. What
now.
a nightmare.
They're all
Yeah.
expensive.
And Red Bull's cheap.
They
I
didn't
know,
raise
Red
their
Bull is
budget,
cheap
but they
there.
raised the price for the teams and the people.
Yeah.
I need more money.
This is just like capitalism.
This is just like right now.
Nobody wins.
My pay has not increased, but the prices of everything have.
hmm
Jamie's still searching for this
I'm
team.
no, I'm just
Still
looking to see. I
looking.
was like, okay, well, so it gave me Max and it gave me McLaren.
Holy
On this
moly. That's an
team.
interesting
afford both of
combo.
those?
That's a
Mhm.
good, like, if Max does well, great. If Lando and Oscar do well, great.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm
It does
think I'm
seem
getting
smarter to
But
have
at the same time,
McLaren
though,
constructor, Max driver versus a one
Lando.
McLaren driver and
I
or
mean, it's all
Red Bull
risk
as
versus
constructor.
reward. Because
Yeah.
if one constructor does really well, and if you have that driver as well, then you are like getting double the reward for things going right.
Okay, but think about this. McLaren has two good drivers who can both do well in the car. So you're better
Mhm.
having McLaren as a team, and Red Bull has one good driver who can do well in the car. So you're better having the driver.
I
Fair.
love sports betting.
Yeah.
My last comment is I'm planning on keeping it clean on my team this year. No Red Bull. I don't need them. That's my
Whoa.
piece.
Keeping it
Whoa,
clean.
keeping it clean.
Not taking
didn't
I
that
think
even
we need
know.
to get rid of the belief as a group that having Red Bull on your team is somehow wrong.
It's not
Well, it
wrong,
was.
but my
It
distaste
is
for
dirty.
Christian is too high
Mm.
to
Yeah,
Fair.
but
take
what about like
anything.
all the AI stuff on every other team? The
What
sponsors.
AI?
Mm,
What do you mean, what
Yeah.
AI?
Oh.
They're literally all of the teams are sponsored by AI.
That's why half of their
Our
promotional stuff these days is AI
Yeah,
generated.
I
robot
saw that.
overlords.
Very dark.
I was going to say one of the questions I wanted to ask about tonight was what did we think of the intro video of the drivers and the fact that George brought back his iconic, if you will,
The
pose.
IUD
Generous.
pose.
It's generous.
I feel like it falls into that category of like a driver finds this thing that they're known for and then they won't move off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Because it's like people love it. And he's like, then I don't have to come up with anything. I know my answer.
Mhm.
That's true. Black
I
and
liked the
woke.
intro. I thought it was really fun.
I did too.
I
I
did
thought it
too.
was better
Yeah,
than
that was
last
good.
year's.
I
Wait,
agree.
okay.
Better than last year.
What about all the little like pictures of the fans in the stands too? I loved that.
I
Am I
don't think I
losing
I don't
caught
it?
think I
that.
saw
See, I
that.
think it was on qualifying. Like they did this like it was like the F1
Oh,
music and it was like
Oh, I didn't see
people and
that.
the fans at the race. It was really cute.
Ooh, I didn't see that.
I didn't
The
notice
n-
that either. I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
It was
The
for the
new
people.
images of like the drivers that they flash for like who's won, who's, whatever, they're like yassified. Like they have clam
They've been
on
sent through
them.
AI.
They have lip gloss. I am like,
They've been yassified.
and if they're yassifying those men, then
What chance
the
do we
regular
have?
men, they don't stand a chance. You know?
never.
But like,
That's
let me see the pores of the driver. Let me see the acne. I like it. It makes them look human.
hmm
Hmm.
They're beautiful enough. They don't need additional. Their moms are
Yeah.
all
Agreed.
This is why
supermodels.
I prefer the press conference level content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I did a real massive deep dive on the which F1 drivers have had hair transplants after recent
Okay, tell us.
discussions.
But
People are
tell us, but say
saying,
allegedly,
okay.
Lewis. I
Yeah,
heard Lewis.
allegedly Lewis. I had
I
no
believe.
idea.
Yeah, I think he had a real like
Widow's Peak.
deep, yeah,
Mhm.
widow's peak for a while.
Wait, do you have before and afters?
I mean, I can pull some photos up.
Send it to the group
Okay,
chat.
I
obviously
will send it to
Pierre,
the group.
right?
Yeah, that was
Allegedly
what
Pierre.
started my
Allegedly.
deep
Pierre's
dive.
is beautiful. I mean, we talked about this
Great.
last time, but like
Yeah.
totally prophylactic. Seems like good for
It's in
him.
an awkward phase right now.
I know. I
Yeah.
didn't, I
It's
don't,
growing in a little.
I loved how it was before. Loved his long hair.
It will be long again.
Okay. Okay, fine. There was one more.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, there was one more.
Is it not
Um,
Alex or Charles?
I don't think so.
You need to go back and
You have to
Fernando?
have
see
short
young
hair.
Fernando.
Alex.
Fernando.
I think allegedly it was Fernando.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, what did you say, Shelly?
I'm just saying you guys need to go back and watch younger Alex. He's either gotten like a different haircut now or he's gotten something done.
Well, definitely like it is interesting like with all the new rookies. Like you watch them like finish
Yeah.
puberty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Glam up, get
Yeah.
the teeth straightened.
Like that's
Go
like
back.
when
I
you go
mean,
watch season 1, Drive to Survive, and
Yes.
you're like,
look at Lando.
Yes.
we were talking
He's
about
a
how
baby.
hot Charles Leclerc was, and he was too young.
Well, go look at like when Daniel Ricciardo started in F1 and he had
Mhm.
like his
Oh,
braces
Yes.
on and he was like so skinny. They
Yes.
all beef up when they get in
Yeah.
there. They just have time to go to the gym all the time, I guess.
I know. I was just watching Carlos's gym videos.
actually, didn't Logan say that his first year in F1 like lost weight throughout the season?
Logan?
No.
I don't follow him. I'm sorry.
He totally said this.
James.
We believe you, Anne. We just don't speak of
I
him.
believe you. I believe you.
I don't know what you're
We don't
talking
know
about.
who she is.
Who is she?
Um, maybe let's speak about the elephant in the room. No Will. Did we miss him? I don't think we did.
Honestly,
No.
I
You know what?
didn't.
I feel like we got more Ruth
Yeah,
Buscom
Yes.
we
screen
did.
time.
Yeah,
So
the
I also, to be fair,
queen.
didn't watch the post-race shows, and I didn't watch a lot of the like pre-race or like post-practice or post-quality types of shows.
I did
I
like Ruth Buscom getting more screen time and her being
me
like
too.
very flustered, like, and now I'm just kind of rambling and I'm not saying anything useful, but
Or wasn't there a moment in quali where someone was like pulling her out of the way?
I
I
love
didn't see
her.
that.
her.
I love
Yeah,
her. I
she's
love the
wonderful.
questions she asks. I think she actually is a really good interviewer. And obviously we know she has a great background, so she gives
I
great insights.
I feel like you can tell the drivers like her questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did a lot of the post race. There was her and two other people. I was like, I don't even care. I just kind of like tuned in when she was interviewing. But yeah, she did great. She
Yeah.
definitely, I didn't even notice Will was gone.
I didn't either.
Sorry,
That's
Will.
the
Well, and he
I do
was
love
only at
Will.
like 2/3 of the races last year, so I feel like that has eased the transition.
He's
But
on IndyCar now.
I was gonna
Do you
say
think he'll still do Drive to Survive?
that's what I was gonna say. That's where I think I'll notice the void is Drive to Survive. He's got a big voice in that show.
Yeah.
We'll be
I
fine.
think they'll figure
We'll
it
be
out.
fine.
They'll figure it out.
Maybe
They
they'll
got to
Don't
get
promote
miss
Ruth on
him.
that show.
Yeah,
I
that'd be
know.
great.
Yeah.
They still have what's her name? Claire, right? From
They've still
Williams?
got Claire
Yeah,
still got
I
Williams.
do
Claire.
kind of
Gunther's
like
gone.
Claire. I like Claire
Yeah.
Williams.
She's fine.
Claire
She's
does not make me
fine.
mad. She's good.
As long as Danica doesn't show her face again, we're good.
Danica, I think, is contracted with Sky Sports, which is why we don't see her
Mm,
very often, which is
sure.
fabulous. Let's keep her out of there.
Mhm.
Maybe they're seeing her on the Sky Sports. Is that what's going on?
That's
And we're
yes.
watching
With
F1 TV.
Yeah.
Jensen
Oh, I
Button.
see.
Yeah.
Jensen Button and Danica Patrick and
He
Martin
hates
Brundle.
it.
And then was Martin Brundle's son
Alex.
Alex
on
Brundle does
F1
F1
TV?
TV.
They're on competing.
Nepo babies.
Nepo. We
They
love
just gotta
Nepo.
cover her at all the networks.
Is that her son? I
Monopolize.
made an assumption there, but I was like, Brundle?
I've
Martin
made the same
Brindle?
assumption.
On F1 TV? On in front of my F1 TV? I don't think so.
Was there anything else race related? Because I do have a non-race related question. Now that Carlos is at Williams, do we think he's gonna get his own merch line? And if
Oh,
so,
okay.
will you be buying it, Grace?
Well, I'm
Since
trying
you're
to
on
do
a
He's on
no
a
buy
no
this
buy.
year.
I know,
I'm
I
on a no
know.
buy. So
So
it has to be gifted to me. So
Oh.
if you're a fan of the pod and you want to
Noted.
gift me something, I'll take Williams
I don't
merch.
think we can do that either.
I have a P.O. box. No.
I have a P.O. box. I'll give out my P.O.
Okay.
box.
So I just sent this. I actually only sent it to Sarah. I didn't send it to the group because I thought it would be too annoying. But I loved his Williams hat. Like I was just like, it was like that bright blue and the 55. And I just really liked it. So I was like, I'm going to go look at this. It's going to be expensive. Already sold out.
Oh.
But the Williams merch, much better to me than it was last year. They have this kind of like, it looks like sort of a weathered denim like hat collection that's just like Williams, and I like it. They have their puffer jacket for sale, and I really liked that.
Oh.
It's giving like tech bro.
I was
So-
not into it, I'll be honest.
That's what I wanted to hear. I need that opinion.
I haven't looked. But like Alex has his own shoe line, right? And
Yeah.
I think
Yes.
when they go apart from the team,
Mhm.
it's better. I don't
Yeah,
like
that's
usually
what
the
I'm-
team
Yeah, I
stuff.
agree.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering
I
if
mean, because the
Carlos
team, they
is
just are
gonna,
selling team kit.
yeah. So I'm wondering if Carlos is gonna come up with something
Hopefully.
now that I know, I'm very
Okay.
curious.
I
When
do
I
worry
went
about
to-
his taste level.
I am
I think
worried.
he looks better than he looked at Ferrari. Like the way he's been dressed.
I just mean in designing a merch line. I want him to make a good hire.
Give
Yeah.
us more than
I think he
Chili's.
could.
Give
give
us
us
more
more
than
than
chilies.
chilies.
I think
I
he's going to be dropping some chili. He's going to be downplaying the chili imagery
you
It's
because
think?
it's
red.
red.
because it's red.
Hmm.
He can't
Yeah.
carry it. Blue
But
chili?
He's classy and
Mm-mm.
British now.
Yeah.
classy British.
And he
I
has a
love,
Scottish girlfriend.
yes,
Yeah.
the hat that you made, Sarah, with the blue jean with the little embroidered chili pepper. I was
I
like, that would
copied
go well
you.
with
That is a
Williams.
literal
We
copy
should
of a hat that
license
that
that.
Carlos owns.
Yeah. I'm like, he
You
should bring
copied
that
him.
in.
But
She
that
did
was
that for
never a
me.
hat that was available to
Yeah.
buy,
And
was
you
it?
weren't
Yeah, never
selling
available to
it.
buy.
I'm just saying that would be a great, like if he took that
Mhm.
and worked with
Yeah.
it.
I think actually I've read on Tumblr some girls who met him when he was at Ferrari, maybe not last year, the year before. They had also made their own version of that hat. And he was like, "Oh, that's so cool. I love it." And they were like, "You should make this and sell this. People really love this." And he was like, "I can't while I'm at Ferrari."
Yeah.
Yep.
So
So
I think he'll drop
So
something.
I
Okay,
hope so.
I went and looked up the Ferrari stuff. Actually, Puma is still their
Oh,
That's what I
clothing
thought.
sponsor.
They're
Mm.
I
pretty
swear it changed.
exclusive.
Then what I read was people being disappointed because they thought Tommy Hilfiger was going to come to Ferrari, and they're
oh,
disappointed.
Oh.
did Tommy Hilfiger
eh.
stay at Mercedes?
I think maybe Tommy Hilfiger's out.
Done.
Out. Okay.
But they're
Okay.
not
Yeah.
really, as we are the people, we don't really know anything about Tommy. Like, we're not, it's not in the sphere of things. So honestly, I'm okay with that personally.
Is Louis Vuitton always a big sponsor?
Okay,
Yeah, that was
obsessed.
crazy.
I
The
was like,
How do you say
suitcase?
it?
this
How do
is
you say it?
in
Tag,
I
tag Heuer.
That
Tag.
is going to be, I think, that's the new watch sponsor. It's not
That's new
Rolex anymore.
I
Rolex.
think Rolex is going to have two races, is what I heard. I
Okay.
want to
Goodness
say I
me.
heard somewhere they're going to have like
But I am
two.
so the Louis Vuitton, I don't think is always the Australia sponsor, but they did sponsor that race, like Qatar Airline, like that
Yeah.
vibe. And like,
Yeah.
what a vibe. Like,
Yeah.
that is the
Purple.
number one indicator, like F1 is for the girlies right now.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
Well,
I
literally
was literally
40% of F1 fans are now girls.
play.
Slay.
Wheel girls. That's
Wheel
us.
girls
That's
Yeah.
right.
in our
Anyone can be a
club.
wheel girl.
Happy to be a part of the club. Can't wait to see who joins us. I thought it was a really fun opening
Yeah.
race. It
Yeah.
was fun to
Great
Great
watch.
race.
opener.
Super fun.
Yeah.
And we get to go to
Yeah.
China next this
I do
weekend.
feel like you
Yeah.
cannot tell anything about how the season's going to go because
Mm-mm.
a
And
rain
we love
race is
it.
just such wild card. It's true.
I want us to do our predictions. This is the first
Ooh,
race. Let's do a
Okay.
prediction for the
I
end.
like that.
What are we
I
predicting?
think McLaren's winning constructors. And
Okay.
I think it's coming down just to Lando versus Oscar. And I am hoping Oscar takes it.
I'm probably in the same boat as Anne, and I'm ready for an Oscar championship.
I think it's going to be Lando v Max here again. I
Mhm.
think Lando's going to win. I think Liam Lawson will not make it through the end of this season.
Who do you think
It's
is
a
going to
parlay.
replace
It's a full
him?
parlay.
It's a full parlay. That's not in my bet. And I think that Williams is gonna win the world championship for the constructors now.
He's not that
Okay.
delusional.
And I'm
She is.
speaking it into existence now.
Might as well throw Carlos win.
May it be as we have said.
Let me burn my candle now.
I was tracking with you initially.
2 out of 3 is not bad, right?
I also think it's gonna be Lando v Max for constructors. I do think it's gonna be Lando. And or I guess sorry, that's world champion. For constructors, I'm gonna go McLaren. And I think Carlos is going to get a podium with Williams.
Ooh, ooh, spicy. I do
That's
feel like
good.
McLaren has the strongest team right now with like the
Mhm.
strongest drivers.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
wheels
A
were
lot can
great.
change in a season.
We're predicting.
I'm gonna say Ferrari constructors champion. And it's gonna be three-way battle, Lewis, Max, and Lando, unfortunately. And I think Max is gonna win the drivers' championship.
Whoa.
Max
Yeah,
is
I
coming
know.
back. Okay.
Honestly, I feel like
Controversial.
I could see that happening, Sarah.
Stop.
Anne will never stop being a Red Bull fan.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
No.
No.
I
I
Okay,
think
just
I have
Ferrari's gonna come back from this first race. I think
I think you could be
they're gonna
right.
improve throughout the season.
I
Mhm.
think that Liam Lawson will be replaced by Franco Colapinto.
He's just catching strays on this pod, but I agree with you.
Okay,
Replace
wait.
that
Okay.
man.
Franco
Did anyone?
Colapinto posted congratulating Williams for their
Yeah,
points.
it was
He's
that
not
was
so
even
very
cute.
sweet.
affiliated with the
He
team.
lives with
Yeah.
Flavio now. He
Did
needs to go
anyone
home.
see about how Franco Colapinto is not allowed to talk to the press, at least during the Australian Grand Prix? And they literally, there's like some Spanish television where like he's the broadcasters are saying like, oh, he's not allowed to talk to us because they think it's gonna, they say it on air. He's not allowed to talk with us. And Franco is like talking to some fans and he comes over and he acts like he's about to talk to him and then he swerves them and goes, he goes inside. It's so good. Yeah. And per the comments, it's because everyone was worried he was gonna overshadow Jack Doohan.
And with
Okay.
that, I say that this meeting of the Wheel Girls Club is officially over.
Adjourned.
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 Adjourned. We'll
We'll
see you
fix
all
it
next
later.
week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.